In this session we're going to create a tool, show the steps to create a tool from a model. So here we have a model of an arc welding gun called Arc Gun. It has two children, body 1 and body 2. And we're also going to make use of the teacher to teach frames or locations on the arc gun. So the first thing we'll do is move the teacher to the pose of the arc gun. Okay, to object means to the pose of the arc gun, so that's the tip. So now we're going to teach a location or a frame on the arc gun at the tip. Okay, so that is going to be called the TCP. There we go, so it creates another frame. We can still move the teacher away if we want to. Now we want to, let's look at it in wireframe, and we want to teach a flange position on the bottom down here where it's going to connect to the robot. Okay, so the easiest thing to do will be to move the teacher to the place we want to teach the location or the flange. So let's open the move panel, select teacher, and for this case let's say to circle center and pick 3 points. So we're going to pick 3 points on the base of this tool. Pick one there, we'll pick one here, and we'll pick one on this side. There you can see the teacher has been moved to the center of this circle. Okay. Now one thing is, on our flange on our robot, the Z direction points out on the robot, so we're going to want to rotate that Z so it points up into the tool. So let's rotate around X 180 degrees, and it moves the Z into the tool. Okay. So let's create another location or frame at that point. It's still on the arc gun, but we're going to call this flange 1. The reason we call it flange 1 is we're going to create a flange 2 also, in case there's different ways to mount the tool, as we'll see. Okay, let's rotate the teacher 180 degrees around, and just in case the flange position is 108 degrees out from that. So we'll create another location. Let's call that flange 2. And we'll teach that guy. Okay, I think we're about ready now. You can see the frames that were created underneath the arc gun. So we're ready to create an automatic tool from that. First we'll resave the model to make sure that it has those frames saved with it. Then we'll open up the Tools Automatic Tool Creation panel, and we'll select the tool. Let's first edit the resolution so that it's the best resolution, fine, just because when we make it a tool, it's going to save it as the fine resolution. So let's select the tool, the arc gun, say OK, and so now it's a tool. It's been converted to a tool and it's been saved for us, so we can empty the cell. Now if we bring up the install panel and look in the library, under the tools we see there we have the arc gun down there, because so now it's a tool or a fixture. Fixtures are the same as tools. So let's load a robot and mount that tool, that newly created tool, on the flange of the robot. So we'll go back to tool, we'll select arc gun, and we'll install it. And notice when we install it, it does not mount on the tool, it just comes into the world, but the mount unmount tool panel pops up where we select the robot and the arc gun. And here we have 2 flanges. Remember, we created 2 flanges, so here's flange 1, and that's how it mounts. So now we have a robot with the tool. We bring up the tool pennant, then we can click on the CTCP option and we can see the tool center point for that. So that's going to be the driving point where we want to move the tool for our tasks. And back here are the flanges that we created for the robot. Okay, so let's try a different. Let's unmount this tool, and we're going to mount it on flange 2. So we just unmount it, and then we just can show you that we move it away from the robot. We'll just jump it away in XY. Let's look at everything there, so we can still see it moved away. Now let's remount the tool. So we say mount on the robot. But let's choose flange 2 this time. There we go. So now it's upside down from where we had it. And now if you move the tool using the move panel, it moves the robot with it because it's a tool.